Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. We are cooking a whole chicken today on our Instant Pot. We're gonna have dinner done within about 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes, including our prepping time. So let's get this party started. We're gonna start with avocado oil. I'm using 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. Now you can use any kind of oil, but I will recommend that it's a high heat point oil. So olive oil will not be the best for this recipe, but vegetable oil, canola oil, avocado oil, coconut oil will be very good choices for this recipe. So we're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, and to this I'm gonna add a mesquite seasoning. I'm gonna add a 1 teaspoon to my oil of the mesquite seasoning. We are going to use 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. I'm also going to use 2 teaspoons of Himalaya salt, 1.5 teaspoons of ground black pepper, and I'm also going to need some chicken bouillon with water. If you have chicken broth, obviously it's better to use chicken broth, but this time I'm going to use 1 cube with 1 cup of hot water so that I can make my own chicken bouillon. So now we're going to mix all of our seasoning together so that we can add it into our 2 tablespoons of oil. And we're going to create a paste that we're going to put or wrap all over around our chicken. And we're going to just wrap it all around it before we put it into our Instant Pot. We're going to add all together and then we're going to mix it, give it a really good mixed. Again, you can always add paprika to add more color to the mix, but this is going to be just fine for us. So I'm just going to put it on top of our chicken and we're going to give it a good rub. We're going to get our hands dirty. So we're just going to give it a very good rub, and we're going to make sure all of the seasoning goes everywhere within the chicken. So we're going to try to go in between the wings and in between the legs, and we're also going to make sure we get some obviously on the back of our chicken. So just make sure we give it a good rub. Get all the spices everywhere we can. And then we're going to add a little bit more at the front. Whatever we have left over, we're going to add a little bit more to the front. And then once we're ready, we are going to put it on our pot. And we're going to put our pot on sauté mode. And I'm just going to cook it for about good 5 minutes on each side of the chicken. So I'm going to put my chicken upside up or with the chest up, if that's what you want to call it. And then every 5 minutes or so, I'm going to just turn it around so I can seal some of that moisture inside of the chicken. So at this point, we're going to turn it around. And be cautious, guys. It can be pretty hot. So if you need to use tools, use some tools. But I think I'm just going to go with my hands because I think this is not going to be an easy task. So I'm just going to turn it with my hands. And let it cook on that side for about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to do the sides. And then we're going to do the other side. And at this point, once we get it cook all around for about 5 minutes on each side, I'm just going to get it out. I'm just going to put it aside for a minute. And then I'm adding the chicken broth, or in my case, just water with a chicken bouillon. And I'm going to kind of not scrape the pot. Be careful. I'm just going to use a rubber utensils to do this. But I'm just going to scrape the bottom of my pan so I can get all the flavors from the seasoning out of it and incorporate it to my chicken broth. We are going to use our rack to put our chicken in here so that it will make it easier to get it out once it's cooked. So we're just going to put it in here. Now for every pound of chicken that you have, it's going to be 8 minutes. I'm going to only cook it for 35 minutes because I already kind of pre-cook it while turning it on sauté mode. So I'm going to cook it at 35 minutes, high pressure. We are going to close our lid, make sure it's locked. We're also going to make sure our valve is closed so it will come to pressure. I allow my Instant Pot to naturally or slowly release the pressure for about 15 minutes. So now let's check on our chicken and see if it's cooked all the way and see if it's tender enough. So it looks like it's coming apart. Let's take it off. I'm just waiting to see if it gets cooled down a little bit from all the steam that is coming out. Let's put it on our plate. I will put it on the oven for broil for about 5 to 10 minutes just to brown the skin a little bit more. So we're just gonna put it in there, but in the meantime, let's look at all the chicken broth that I have left for another recipe in the future. So let's put it in the oven and wait 5 more minutes and see what happens. It actually took 7 minutes, but let's look at this, guys. It looks beautiful. It looks amazing. It looks super tasty. So let's grab a fork and see if it's tender enough. It looks very juicy though. It looks really good. Let's see. Definitely tender enough. It looks really nice. Really, really, really nice. It's coming apart. So I'm getting ready to serve this to my family. As always, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this recipe and the other recipes that I have in my channel. Please subscribe and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.